So what is the rule of 55 and how can you use it? Well, we're going to go over 5 quick facts so that you understand what you're getting involved in before you do it. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of the rule of 55. I had not until another viewer had mentioned it. So I commented back to them, I'm going to have to do some digging, figure out what this is. So I did that, and I got some notes here. So really, here's the 5 big things you need to know. And first off, let's just talk about what the rule of 55 is. The rule of 55 recognizes the fact, and the government recognizes the fact, that you may either lose your job through layoff or quit or be forced to retire, whatever, before you're 59 and a half. And what they've done is allowed you to use the rule of 55, meaning if you're 55 years of age or older, you can withdraw from your 401k without penalty as long as you left after you're at age 55 and you are withdrawn from the same 401k account that you've been putting into. You can't use different accounts, but we're going to go over all those. But that basically says that you can do that as long as you're not at that job anymore, and that is why. And even if you decide to go back at some point, you can still take this money if you want. Okay, so first rule is if you are a public safety employee, as in if you work for the fire department, the police department, anything along those lines, air traffic control, military members, etc., EMTs, all qualify, you get an extra 5 years. So you can go at 50 under the qualifying terms. Okay, number 2, you can withdraw only from the plan that's specific to the employer you left. Meaning, if I left my employer now and I was 58 and I've been putting into this 401k for the last 28 years, whatever, I could leave, quit my job and take withdrawals from that 401k without penalty, even though I'm not 59 and a half. But it has to be you have to be older than 55 to start using that money. Okay? All right, and the next step is part of the 55. You must leave the job in your calendar year you turn 55 or older. So you can't leave at 53 and then go back at 55 and say, I want to start withdrawing from my 401k. That doesn't work. You have to take the 401k money and you have to be older than 55 when you quit and when you start to take that money. Okay, you can't go backwards. Once you're out, and if you take early, it's withdrawal penalty. If you leave at 55 though and go on, you can take it from that point on. Okay, another caveat. Caveat number 4 is the balance must stay within the previous employer's 401k program, and that's where you have to take the withdrawals from. You cannot use any individual retirement accounts or any other types of programs. It has to be from the 401k program that you left at the employer you were working for when you quit or retired or took medical, whatever the case may be that got you out at 55 or older. But it has to be from that employer and in their program. And you have to keep the minimum balance that's required by them because otherwise it could get transferred to a different 401k system or an IRA or whatever. And most of them have a minimum of like $5,000 to be considered still keeping that 401k. So you have to keep an eye on the money you're taking out and the balances. Okay, and here's that other tricky part. You can still withdraw from that 401k even if you get another job. So if let's say you leave this employer at 55, you decide you want to start taking withdrawals from your 401k without penalty because you're older than 55. 2 years later, you decide you want to go back to work because you're bored, you need to make money. You can still withdraw the money even though you're back at work. So once you start taking it from that 401k system and that 401k program, you can continue to do that. And you can continue to take that money as long as you don't roll it into something else. Okay, so keep that in mind. You have to stay with the same company's 401k program, etc. Now, I'm not 100% on all these rules. I got this information from the SSA website, I believe. Anyway, point is, make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you understand the repercussions of withdrawing from your 401k. That means there's not going to be as much money in there rolling over, making interest, etc. However, this is definitely an option, and it's one I got to think about because I never heard of this before until somebody else had brought it up. So I hope you found this stuff useful. I trying to keep the videos short and condensed. So let's start knocking it out and getting the facts out there, sharing the value and being done. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.